Welcome to another episode of Three's a Crowd. Preston Vargas here, joined by my co-host Eli Atwood, back from a good trip to Nashville. How was that, Eli?
Oh, it was good, but always great to be back.
Yes. And we'll go into our lead story of the day. The Broncos defeating the Eagles, coming back from a 14-point deficit in the fourth quarter to hand the Eagles their first loss this season. Now, from what I saw in the game, the Eagles collapsed offensively and couldn't really get together. What does this mean for the Eagles going forward?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a bit of a wake-up call for the Eagles. They've managed to scrape by a lot of these games where their offense isn't quite where it should be, and this is the first time it really comes to hurt them bad.
Absolutely. I mean, Saquon Barkley was the one you always handed the ball off to last year, and it worked for you. You won a Super Bowl. This year they haven't been running the ball as much, and that's definitely uh costing them at the moment. But what does this mean for the Broncos?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a good one for the Broncos, defeating Super Bowl champions 4-0 team definitely proves that they can vouch against the best, I mean, true contenders possibly, maybe at least playoff contenders.
And they got off to a rocky start, losing some close games, but then they're off to a 3-0. They're 3-2 right now. Won their last two games against the Bengals, blew them out at home, and then beating the Eagles on the road. And that's a pretty good performance. Bo Nix, 242 in passing yards and only one pass touchdown, but went 24 for 39. It's a pretty solid effort for him. J.K.
Yeah,
Dobbins
definitely
getting
not
into the
bad.
end zone. And then on the other side, Jalen Hurts, he didn't have a bad day. He actually had a better passing day today than he has, but again, he had he had 280 yards and two touchdowns, but there was probably a defensive collapse in that one. I was watching four games at once, and I had the Eagles game on, but was mostly focused on other games happening in the 1 o'clock window.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely towards the end of the game, the offense kind of stalled up there at the end, and then the defense seemed like they weren't stopping them quite as much. And it's just kind of the combination of the two. You got to be able to lock in there during the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. And they weren't the only team to have their first loss. The Bills lost to the Patriots at home in a pretty competitive battle. And with that, there are no more undefeated teams in the NFL.
Yeah, that was a really a great win for the Patriots, I think.
I think it's the defining moment of Drake May's young career at this point. His stats for
Yeah,
273 yards, even though he had no passing touchdowns, didn't turn the football over. Still a solid effort by him, 273 yards. Whenever you can get over 250 yards passing, it's always a good day, and your team won because of it.
yeah. And I mean, big problem for the Bills was Stephon Diggs. They just could not cover him. 10 catches, 146 yards. First big game of the year for him.
And going back to the team that he was on before, for
Yeah, bit of a revenge game.
definitely, I think that was his first time playing the Bills in Buffalo since he
Oh,
left.
wow.
So a great revenge game for Stephon Diggs, 146 yards on 10 receptions. Single-handedly won you your fantasy matchup this week.
Yeah, he kind of came in the clutch for me there.
Ramondre Stevenson, he did pretty good, two touchdowns. And I want to say he fumbled in the game, if I'm not mistaken. But
The one
anyways,
problem with Stevenson, he has a bit of a fumbling issue from time to time.
he lost a couple fumbles in the week before, but and lost a fumble last night, but made up for it with two rushing touchdowns,
Yeah, for
only
sure.
14 yards on the day. Definitely made the
14
most of
yards, two
it
touchdowns.
on
Hey,
the
you
goal
know
line.
what? Yeah, he's performing well at goal line, something UCF could learn.
Oh, that was a horrible game in the rain.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of bad losses, the Baltimore Ravens. what happened with them? Lost pretty bad against CJ Stroud of the Texans, allowed 44 points to the Houston Texans at home.
Yeah, the Ravens are really starting to not look good. Like they're looking bad, really.
I saw a stat this morning from Damian Woody from ESPN. He said that through 4 games this season, the Ravens have allowed more points than the 2000 Ravens did throughout the entire season.
Wow.
So it's bad in Baltimore right
Yeah.
now.
I think their defense is just not there, and the offense is not good enough to make up for it, at least. I mean,
This is the least physical that I've ever seen a Baltimore Ravens defense. Throughout our
yeah.
lifetime with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, and even the guys they've had recently, they've always been known to be physical.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
And it's just not there.
let's take a look at the Texans' points scored. They nearly doubled their points total that they had in the previous game for a season high. The previous season high was 26 points last week. They got 44 this week.
Yeah.
So that should tell
That's
you all
pretty
you
good for
need to know
sure.
about the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully for the Texans, it's a bit of a turnaround. Last week they were starting to get there and then really look better this week. So,
It's a big confidence booster for the Texans for sure. They go into their bye week
yeah.
on a 2 game winning streak at 2-3 before going to Seattle on Monday Night Football. The After coming out of the bye week, which that's a 10 p.m. kickoff Eastern time.
Ooh,
Pretty late kickoff there.
yeah, for
But
sure.
going back to the Ravens defensive woes, let's take a look at. We did this kind of last week when they lost to the Chiefs. I'll give you the number of points they've allowed. 41 to the Bills, 17 to the Browns, which was their best game, then 38 to the Lions, 37 to the Chiefs, now 44 to the Texans.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not good at all. I mean, probably one of the worst defenses in the league. They have had a tough schedule to start it off, to be fair, but I mean, we've seen teams like the Texans who have been struggling early on, and they're still putting up points.
this was supposed to be the Ravens' get right game. This was a
Yeah,
game they should have won at home. And now they play a Rams team, which they have a good offense too. I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised if they score 35 or 40 on them this week.
yeah, for sure. Rams look good this year.
And on top of the Rams are on a 10-day break after playing Thursday.
Yeah, true. That's gonna affect them even more.
I mean, I could easily see the Ravens going like 1-6 to start the season. You go to you go to Miami, which it should be a win for them.
Certainly, Miami is gonna be a win, right? I mean,
Then you go to Minnesota, which depending on how the Vikings do, they're still pretty good. I can see Justin Jefferson running all over them. And then you got the Browns and the Jets, which should be wins. The Bengals, which is a Thanksgiving night game. Horrible Thanksgiving night game, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's gonna be
It looked good on
painful to
paper to
watch.
start the season, before the
Yeah.
season, but now, I mean, we don't expect Joe Burrow to be back by then.
No, he shouldn't be. Yeah.
Lamar should be back. Hopefully that helps a little bit, but
Yeah, but even with Lamar, the Ravens haven't been doing great.
I mean, he put up points.
I agree. At least they were competitive, but yeah, this week their offense couldn't even do anything, which is half the problem.
I saw in terms of fantasy perspective, Cooper Rush had 1.3, and here's why. 179 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Three interceptions. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And I criticized the Ravens live during the game. Why aren't they giving it to Derrick Henry? There's one interception. Cooper Rush threw it to the right side of the field, and it was picked off, intended for Derrick Henry.
Hmm.
He only had 33 yards on the ground on 15 carries.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's your answer, I think. 15 carries, 33 yards, not a great performance from him either. You need you need him to step up in games like that, take advantage of every carry.
Are we seeing the end to Derrick Henry's Hall of Fame career, or at least his production as Hall
Yeah,
of Famer?
we may be, honestly. I mean, he's not looked great this season. He had that good start week one and then just fell off a cliff.
In week one, he had 139 yards on the ground. This past the past few games against Cleveland, 23 yards, Detroit 50, Kansas City 42, and Houston 33. Definitely falling off a cliff right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully, when the Ravens have their bye week, he can find a way. But it comes down to Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson when he comes back from his hamstring injury to see what the Ravens can really do.
Yeah, for sure.
And then an AFC South team got their win. That was the Texans at Baltimore. We go into another AFC South team that got their first win in what could be the stupidest collapse I've ever seen. The Tennessee Titans holding off the Arizona Cardinals 22 to 21. Cam Ward getting his first win as NFL QB. But what does this mean for the Titans?
I mean, I guess it's a good sign for the Titans. They won a game. They probably shouldn't have won this game, but you still got to have something to get games like this. I mean, a good comeback win at least, a good prove it game for Cam Ward.
For sure, Cam Ward had 265 yards, even though he didn't throw a touchdown pass. He threw a pick, but that pick he threw led to a touchdown for the Titans somehow because he threw the pick. I forgot who it was to. Let me see on here. Tyler Demerson. He then goes down to the ground. He wasn't touched. The ball comes out when he's on the ground. Picked up by Tyler Lockett. He scores a touchdown.
So in a way, that could be a touchdown pass if you look at it a
Kind
little
of.
differently.
But that came after a play from Amari DiMercato. He had a 72-yard run clear into the end zone and then just throws the ball away in
Yeah, what an
celebration
idiot.
before he crosses the goal line. This happened last week with the Colts player Adonai Mitchell. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Why are the people dropping balls before crossing the line?
Yeah, everybody just wants to look cool, time it right, but it's not cool when your team's losing.
And it single-handedly cost you the game. That touchdown would have put you up 27 to 6. You lost 22 to 21. That loss is on DeMarcado solely.
Yeah,
Not only cost not only cost him the game, it cost me my Survivor season.
you should send some hate mail to DeMarcado.
Completely inexcusable. But what does this kind of loss mean for the Arizona Cardinals?
I mean, this is just typical Cardinals from the past few years. I feel like they always lose games they shouldn't be losing. They seem to be underperforming to their expectations. It's a bit of a mess all around.
In my opinion, this could be a very detrimental loss to the Cardinals for the rest of the season. I think this is a turning point for them because after the Hail Mary for the Bears against the Commanders last season, that completely changed the way the Bears played the rest of the season after a demoralizing loss like that. I think this could be
Yeah.
the same thing for the Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately, because I don't see
Yeah,
their
and for a
schedule
team that was
getting,
kind of on the edge anyways.
and they're 2-3 now, and they lost their previous three games on game-winning field goals. They're on a three-game losing streak now. They got the Cardinals next week, who look good. Green Bay comes into town before getting a bye, then going to Dallas, Seattle. and then playing 49ers at home and the Jaguars, they could be in trouble for sure. I could definitely see them losing until they play the Falcons on December 21st.
Yeah, I mean, and even that game, I wouldn't call it a give me. I mean,
No. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could see them losing 12 in a row, unfortunately,
wow.
with their schedule.
Yeah, that NFC West this year is tough.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Gannon might be fired in between those games.
Yeah, I could see it
Let's
for
have a
sure.
bet right now. When will Jonathan Gannon be fired?
Let me pull up the Cardinals schedule really quick.
For me, I would say after the Jacksonville game on November 23rd, I think that's when he's going to get fired.
Let's see. Yeah, I think he's not going to get fired like immediately,
Yeah.
Give him towards the end of the year. Yeah, that Jacksonville game does look like prime for him to get fired. I mean, at home against the Jaguars,
If
very
he get
possible. If not then the Falcons game, if they lose that, I mean, there's a few options here.
if he gets fired after the Jaguars game, or anytime we say you said he was going to get fired, we'll play this video. We'll play this clip in that video coming out that
Proof.
Monday.
Yeah,
But then we go to a brand new segment. We have rapid fire from the games this week. So I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock and we'll go through 5 games here. You ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Clock started. Seattle, Tampa Bay beats Seattle 38 to 35. Is Baker Mayfield an MVP candidate?
I mean, he's definitely getting there. I think he's the most clutch player in the NFL right now, and that's to go in one of these back and forth offensive shootout type of games here.
Detroit beats Cincinnati 37 to 24. Jared Goff, 3 touchdown passes for 258 yards. Is Detroit the favorite in the NFC?
I mean, honestly, I think after this week and last week, you got to give him that. After Packers tying with the Cowboys, this week Eagles suffer a loss. I think the Lions are definitely in the conversation, if not number one.
Raiders lost to the Colts 40 to 6. Is it time to bench Geno for Kenny Pickett?
I don't know if we've quite come to that time yet. I think Geno's not the issue necessarily. Indy's looked really strong so far throughout this first few games.
Saints beat the Giants 26 to 14 for their first win. Is Spencer Rattler the guy?
No, I will never say Spencer Rattler's the guy. 5 turnovers by the Giants here. That's what lost them this game.
2 interceptions by Jackson Dart. And then finally, Cowboys and Jets. Is Aaron Glenn's job on the line in his first year?
Yeah, he's definitely starting to get towards the hot seat. First year head coach, I think he'll have till the end of the season at least, though.
I think so too. We have 20 seconds to spare.
There we
Let's go to
go.
another game we didn't have. Carolina comes back from a 17-point deficit to beat the Dolphins 27 to 24. When will Mike McDaniel get fired?
Yeah, I think we could see it very soon. I mean, I think he's gonna be one of the first coaches fired this season.
2, 1.
There we go.
There we go. That concludes our first edition of Rapid Fire. Now we'll get into Monday Night Preview coming to us from Northeast Florida as Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs take on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do you put the Chiefs on upset alert?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, Jaguars at home, they've looked really good through the first few games this season. Only thing that concerns me is sometimes the Jaguars get off to these hot starts and then kind of fizzle away. So we'll see if they can keep up the momentum here.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call the Jaguars start hot, even though they beat San Francisco on the road. It's still a one possession game. Even though they beat the Texans, I think this is their first real test against the three-time defending AFC champions coming into their house. Even though that Kansas City's off to a 2-2 start, their offense started to look good against the Baltimore Ravens. So I can see a pretty close game in that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it'll be a good game. See which team comes out on top.
What are the keys for Jacksonville to win tonight?
I mean, they just got to be able to stop the Kansas City offense. I think that's the main key.
I don't know which side of the ball Travis Hunter is going to play this week, but it'll be key for him to contribute more in this one.
Yeah, for sure. We need to see some sort of impact out of the number two pick.
I think the biggest key is can Trevor Lawrence get to Brian Thomas and his other receivers quickly?
Yeah, Brian Thomas has had a struggle to start this season.
Then my key for Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes in the offense. I I can't remember. Does Rasheed Rice come back this week or next week?
It's not till next week, I don't think. Maybe even the week after next. I want to say it was a 6 game suspension.
And then I saw Xavier Worthy is on the injury report with that knee injury. Just as precaution,
Yeah.
I think he's more than likely gonna play today. But the key for Kansas City to win this game is to just really get him involved more and contribute.
Yeah, for sure. He needs to make an impact.
That's gonna do it for today's episode after week 5 of NFL football. Don't forget to join us again on Friday with Eli Atwood. I'm Preston Vargas. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.